Hello and welcome. This is the weekly news roundup on Unilag TV, the first campus television station in Nigeria. I am Akimayowa Tella. On the news headline, LASU VC congratulates Unilag for floating first campus TV in Nigeria. JAM lays foundation for 500 seater capacity computer-based center. Lagos said to provide steady power supply by 2018. UK Parliament to get binding vote as final Brexit deal edges closer. And in cycling firm apologizes after saying women should buy electric bikes to keep up with men. Details shortly. Welcome back, and now the news in details. Lagos State University Vice Chancellor Olanrewaju Fagbo has congratulated the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, for inaugurating the first campus television station in Nigeria. This was contained in a congratulatory message delivered by the Lagos State University librarian Dr. Adebambo Oduwole while on a familiarization tour of the University of Lagos. In a remark, the chairman of Unilag Radio and TV, Professor Ralph Akifele, said it was nice to have a sister institution as LASU come on a visit to congratulate Unilag for achieving the dream of the first campus television station in Nigeria. In his reaction, the head of LASU delegation expressed happiness at the state of things within the University of Lagos Media Complex and noted that Lagos State University had a lot to learn from Unilag, especially as it looks forward to submitting an application for a TV license in the coming weeks. Dr. Duwale congratulated the University of Lagos for blazing the trail yet again in campus community broadcasting in Nigeria. The Minister of Education, Adamu, has laid the foundation stone of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board's 500-seater capacity computer-based test center at the Aminu Saleh College of Education, Azare in Bauchi State. Adamu was represented by the Vice Chancellor, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, ATBU Bauchi, Professor Saminu Ibrahim, said the NCC and JAM have created a healthy synergy in carrying out the presidential directive for the establishment of JAM computer-based test centers. He said the aim of the examination body is to provide easy access to candidates writing JAM tests using technology. Reports say the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, is the sole sponsor of the project, which is expected to be completed in 90 days. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has said plans are at advanced stages to generate constant electricity for residents of the state in 2018. The governor will reveal this recently at an interactive session with members of the business community and informal sector. Believes it is incumbent on the state, which enjoys the privilege of being the commercial nerve center of the country, to work towards providing a steady power for its residents and businesses. He noted that the state government had already devised strategies to short-circuit power generation, transmission, and distribution to ensure there was 24/7 power supply to residents. The presidency on Monday reacted to the GDP figures of the third quarter just released by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. The latest NBS GDP figures show that the Nigerian economy grew by 1.4% year-on-year in real terms during the third quarter. This represents a steady continuation of the positive growth of 0.72% experienced in the second quarter and reinforces the exit from the 2016 recession. The report also shows the Naira exchange rate has stabilized while inflation has declined to 15.91% from 18.7% in January 2017. In a statement, Special Advisor to the President on Economic Matters, Dr. Adeyemi Dipelu, assured that the Buhari government will continue to work diligently on a daily basis to ensure inclusive growth. The breakdown showed the oil sector grew very strongly, just as agriculture and industrial sectors recorded significant growth in recent months, with the figures put at 3.06% and 8.83% respectively. Dr. Adeyemi believes the upward trend is an indication that the economy is growing and is expected to grow even more in the coming year. The British Parliament is to take a final vote on the Brexit deal before the UK leaves the EU. Although the UK is due to leave the EU in March 2019, Brexit Secretary David Davis said the terms of the UK's exit, such as money, citizen rights and any transition, must become law via a new active parliament. The UK government had previously agreed to give MPs and peers a vote on a Commons motion relating to the final Brexit deal before it's been voted upon by the European Parliament. Mr. Davis also stressed that a confident government wouldn't have considered like this the day before the Brexit debate was due to come back to the Commons in earnest. We go for a quick break with the rest of the news coming shortly. Welcome back. And now the big story. This week's story is on the valedictory lecture held in honor of the 11th Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Rahman Adisa Bello.
It was encomiums upon encomiums at the Afe Babalola Auditorium, University of Lagos on Monday, as the crème de la crème of the institution gathered to honor its immediate past Vice-Chancellor, Professor Rahman Adisa Bello, in a valedictory lecture. The lecture was centered on the topic Transformative Leadership in an Evolving Democracy had as guest lecturer the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Professor Benjamin Ozumba. Participants could not help reminiscing on some of the historic times he has shared with the university's 11th Vice-Chancellor as they meant no word in eulogies. The newly appointed Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, in explaining the raison d'etre of the event, revealed it was a worthy way to celebrate a man who had worked endlessly over the past 5 years to make the University of Lagos a foremost institution and citadel of learning. Former director of Unilag Consort, Professor Bola Ubu, described Professor Bello as a silent achiever, while former Deputy Vice-Chancellor Management Services, Professor Babajide Alo, said the Professor of Chemical Engineering was a man of impeccable character, great intellect, and with an unusual ability in paying attention to details.
Now, working with RAD, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I would say you have Mr. Bello, a man of impeccable character. A man of great intellect.
On his part, distinguished Professor Francis Ogunye noted that Professor Bello was a dependable person and a man of integrity. He therefore advised the Vice-Chancellor to emulate the virtues of his predecessor in moving the university forward.
The Vice-Chancellor now, I pray for you that we shall go from the excellent position the immediate past Vice-Chancellor has given us to distinction in Jesus' name.
In his own remarks, Chairman of the Invent, Alhaji Musiliu Smith, said Professor Bello's leadership in the past 5 years has led to unprecedented development of the university in terms of quality output in all spheres of life. He congratulated Professor Bello on the successful completion of his tenure. Delivering his lecture, the guest lecturer was convinced the University of Lagos had maintained the exalted tradition of intellectual and political struggle, and that was proof of the quality of scholarly, pedagogical, and administrative leadership of its immediate past Vice-Chancellor.
With the achievements of this nation, it throws up a big challenge to various success and the need to sustain or to surpass the limits already attained and standards set.
Professor Ozumba affirmed that there was no greater achievement by the former Vice-Chancellor than the relative peace experienced throughout his 5 years in office. According to him, Professor Bello has shown deep emotional and practical commitment to making the University of Lagos a foremost institution. He challenged the incumbent Vice-Chancellor of the institution, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundikbe, to sustain and surpass the limit already attained. Responding, a clearly elected Professor Bello said the success story of the University of Lagos is a combination of collaborative efforts.
The University of Lagos, as I keep saying, is a great university, and it will remain great for as long as we make it so.
He appreciated the management for organizing the event in his honor and urged them to continue to portray Unilag in a good light to the outside world.
And now to the world of sports. Play was delayed Wednesday night as players and officials posed to remove bundles of fake euros thrown onto the pitch by fans of Bayern Munich. The German Champions European League tie at Anderlecht was halted briefly after the fans hauled fake cash into the pitch in protest at the ticket prices. In addition to hauling the cash, Bayern fans also held the banner reading, "Is your greed now satisfied?" With the price of watching football ever rising, the Bundesliga is renowned for keeping ticket prices low, so it was no surprise when the German fans decided to protest after being charged 100 euros to watch their favorites take on the Belgians at the Constant Vandenstok Arena. In order to mitigate the cost for fans, the Bavarian club says it had discounted the price of the tickets by 30% for its fans. It is not the first time the Bayern fans have protested the price of tickets for European games, as they had also thrown bundles of papers on the pitch at Arsenal earlier in March. A cycling firm has been forced to apologize following a backlash of an advert suggesting women buy electric bikes to keep up with their boyfriends. Italian manufacturer Pinarello, which supplies Team Sky, launched its new Nitro electric bicycle with marketing material claiming it was perfect for female riders who would like to follow easily the man's space. This was followed by an advert posted on Instagram featuring a 24-year-old couple rider alongside the quote, "I've always wanted to go cycling with my boyfriend, but it seemed impossible." The post sparked outrage on social media as angry cyclists queued up to take aim at the company using the hashtag. Pinarello has however since removed the post from its social media account and issued an apology claiming it had failed to convey its intended message. And that's it for this week, but before we go, a quick recap of the major headlines. Last Vice-Chancellor Professor Olarewaju Fagbon has congratulated Unilag for floating first campus TV in Nigeria. The Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAM, has laid a foundation for a 500-seater capacity computer-based center in Bauchi State. We also told you The UK Parliament will be taking a final binding vote as it plans to pull out of the EU. And in sport, a cycling firm has apologized after saying women should buy electric bikes to keep up with men. And that will be all. Thanks for watching. I am Akimayowa Teller. Goodbye.